Over the years, Harvard has produced some of the very influential people, starting from Michelle Obama to Natalie Portman. And today, we're sitting here with one of the most amazing people, one of the most amazing women from Uzbekistan. She is so ambitious and she was able to turn her dream into the reality.
Oh my God, I'm going
Dilafruz, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for hosting me, because it's Harvard. I mean, yeah, Harvard has the biggest name, I guess, in the world, but it's not only name, but it's the reason I chose Harvard. And I started working here at the SATMakon, met like all the amazing people, my students, my team, colleagues. It was early April, I guess, and our mom texted me saying, Dilafruz, thank you so much for teaching me SAT. I got into Harvard. I'm like, wow. They were joking, saying, your student got into your dream school before you. I'm like, we'll see. and then Kamal posted it in his channel saying, oh, her student got into her dream college and hopefully she gets in as well. And like, thank you, Dilafruz. I got into Harvard and I didn't believe, and he sent me his letter. Yes, but the fact that you'll never stop already means that you will eventually success. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but definitely one. I'm in the morning and we wake up at 6 a.m. the next morning. Mm-hmm. And at 6 a.m. they open the channel and they see like, welcome to Harvard Dilafruz. Stopping or giving up is never an option. So, I keep pushing myself all the time. And yeah, I try to take advantage of whatever resource I have, and wherever I go, wherever I am.
That's perfect. I just want to say thank you so much, Dilafruz. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for hosting me. Good day.
So let's start by talking a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Dilafruz, and I'm currently a senior at Presidential School in Fergana, graduating in June, and I'm an incoming freshman at Harvard for the class of 2030. I'm just a huge STEM enthusiast, a girl who is always loud and wants to share whatever she has, and is very, very ambitious about, again, as you said, turning all my dreams into reality, beginning from like traveling, to learning, to experimenting, and everything I have.
Now let's kind of move on to the curious part, which most of our viewers are mostly curious, is why Harvard? Like, out of all the universities, why exactly Harvard?
Because it's Harvard. Harvard has the biggest name, I guess, in the world, but it's not only name, but it's the reason I chose Harvard is because of everything it has that makes it Harvard. It's not limited to prestige, because there's a lot more that a university offers. You mentioned some of the alumni, and Harvard has more alumni actually, who are doing their own startups, $1 million companies, their careers in medicine, in tech, engineering, and whatever you can name, in every single field in this world, and they're pioneers of their own fields. And having access to that alumni aspiration to become one of them is something that I thought I would have only at Harvard, and I believe that it has enough resources to enable me to do that. Opportunities, programs, courses, professors, conferences, everything. I just need to be actively involved in them and use every single resource that they offer and become one of them, those people that not only Uzbekistan but the world recognizes.
And obviously getting into Harvard was not just like an overnight thingy, right? So you had to spend a lot of time and effort that you put on. So how did your journey begin? That's the question that I wanted to ask.
My journey actually began starting from presidential school, I guess. That was in my 7th grade, so it was a new environment for me, new friends, everything new, curriculum, language of instruction changed from Uzbek to English. And so that moment was something transformational, I would even say, because in that moment you become more flexible academically and personally. So you start to change some of your perspectives in life, you start to study more, work harder, smarter. So you will have to figure out everything by yourself, and using people around you to advise you, to consult you. And I guess having all those people, like-minded people, I would say, international stuff from different countries, all this exposure to like advanced learning, all subjects, classes, clubs from swimming to dance to German. Just using them is something that changed me. So every single time I tried everything in school, I just became more knowledgeable about a certain subject. How to say, I just had more skills to proceed. And I guess from the 7th grade until now, for 5 years, using my school's resources, people, their ideas, and projects and things outside school helped me shape this personality and become someone that Harvard wants to have in its campus.
That's perfect. And you said you transferred to presidential school, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think is the difference between a public school and presidential school?
Oh, that's a question I actually get a lot of the times from different people. The other day I had this question from actually a director of one organization. And I mean, all my classmates and people in school would probably say that the best thing is equality. I would put it this way, because no matter what background you're coming from, your social background, financial background, academic background, you will be more or less equal in school, because you will have the same uniform, you will take the same classes, you will sleep in the same dorm, same bed, everything same food. You will not have more or less than others. And so that moment is something that differentiates people. You're same, I'm same, all physical resources, but it all comes down to how you use them. So maybe I sleep less, or maybe I sleep equal, but I just do more. I just work smarter in some way. And I guess this presidential school creates this environment where it will be all about you, because everything else is same for everyone. And another thing is all those academic differences, I would say, curriculum that we have, A-levels that public schools are not unfortunately offering, but I guess there will be some change in the future. So we have this international curriculum, we have international stuff from countries like Philippines, Kenya, United States, United Kingdom, and across the world basically. And we have access to those teachers, their experiences. We have the best local staff as well, Uzbek teachers who are the best in their subjects, I'm pretty much sure. And we have people, our classmates, who are as ambitious, as smart as we are. So just this environment of good people, hardworking people, is something that makes you push yourself. And I guess, the environment is the best thing and the thing that makes it stand out.
That's really amazing, honestly. I never knew that it could be like this. And now we kind of move on to the next question. Let's go back to the Harvard, right? So the application itself was pretty tough, most likely, right? I'm just wondering, how did you know what to do and how did you start that? That's the question. For example, extracurriculars or A-levels, how did you know that you had to take A-levels or SAT, or how did it all happen?
So first, I guess it started from just YouTube videos on my feed about Harvard, and one day our school staff gathered all students, all 168 of us, in our amphitheater where we gathered. We were just sitting and there's a big screen and they show us a video of a girl from SATMakon Presidential School who got into Harvard back then for the class of 2027. And we all are watching her video. I guess it was in my grade 8. And she gets into Harvard and she's from presidential school. So they say, all presidential schools are same in Uzbekistan, same everything, curriculum, whatever, same building, same colors, and you also have the same opportunities, so you can do it. That's what they told us. And I'm like, okay, wow. So I also have a chance to get into Harvard because someone else who had the same things I'm having did it, so I can do it as well. And then I started searching and realized there's what's called as IELTS and SAT that I have to take, mandatory things. And there are also some things that students do to get in, basically, which are called as extracurricular activities. I just have surface level knowledge, foundation, I would say. And I started studying for IELTS and SAT on my own, self-studying mainly. And I take my IELTS in grade 9, November, early grade 9 and I get my 8 in my first attempt, and I started practicing SAT. It's going very well, and I'm active in school. I am the head of eco committee. I'm active in other events as an MC. I go to the stage like every week for events. Like I give like interviews for TV shows that come and shoot my school to inform people more about it. I'm just being active. I'm doing more apart from my studies. And then I guess it was March. March comes. I'm still in grade 9. I see a Telegram post. It's Babarjan Bakhtiarov, who is Johns Hopkins class of 2026, and he announces about a course called Ivy Bridge that prepares students for top universities. I'm like, okay, I have this and that, but I guess that's not enough. So maybe take the course and learn more about it, because I knew I didn't know enough. So I texted him saying, oh, my name is Lefroz, I'm grade 9. I have this and I want to like get into Harvard, I said. And Babarakia was like, okay, you are the youngest in the course, and I will like accept you. You can study and learn. So in my 9th grade, I started learning about admissions, and I realized it's much deeper than I thought, and there was a lot I didn't know, like essays, like importance of extracurriculars, honors and stuff. So once I realized what they need and what I am supposed to be doing, I started doing them. So I started doing like more research. I started doing things that I had a chance to, basically. I used every single resource. I applied to whatever program there was. I went to whatever conference or event they organized. And I took my SAT in 9th grade, June, and I got my first 1480 it was. And then I retook again and made it 1540. So in early grade 10, I was done with my test scores. So I'm like, oh, I have test scores. I have A levels. I have a perfect GPA. So I guess my academics is done. There's nothing more I can do. And so I just focused on other parts of the application that I learned from the course. I did more extracurriculars. I gave all my into them, to whatever I was doing, all my energy. I planned everything, did everything, even if I had to wake up at 4 a.m. I just did. And like during this process, I guess, I discovered myself. I explored my interests. I realized what I want in this life in terms of major and stuff. So this whole application process was not for the sake of Harvard, I would say, but it was for the sake of becoming that person that even Harvard wants to have. So I guess I then, after finishing the application process, understood why people who work in the admission thing say that admission is sort of life-changing, because you start to understand yourself more. And the same happened to me. And you see the result. I just explored and understood myself, and this process shaped me and helped me get into Harvard.
That's amazing. Wow. What would you say were the 5 biggest factors that got you accepted? Like 5 biggest factors?
Oh, I guess first one is the fact that I am very open to new things. As I told you, I just explored stuff, and in my application it was very obvious, because in some people's application it's very research heavy or STEM heavy, but in my case it was very diverse, and they were diverse for a reason, because I was just trying, just a 17-year-old girl exploring herself, and I just showed that this whole journey. I tried research in bio-waste management and genetics, still like somehow connected but very STEM heavy topics. I tried content creation on YouTube and Instagram, posted my own videos about science.
Wow.
I co-founded a women empowerment organization that educates girls for free. I was enrolled in eco committee in ecological and awareness campaigns about environmental protection. And I was also active in school events as an MC. I danced in events. I went to swimming. So I just tried everything, and they like the fact that I'm very open to whatever resource and chance they have. And I guess they could see that I would keep doing the same at Harvard because they know they have a lot of resources and they need people to use it. And I guess I will be that person who uses every single thing, no matter how much time it takes, no matter how much time I need to sacrifice for my sleep time. So I guess that was the biggest thing I had. And also the fact that I am both, there's a word called nerd, right?
Yeah.
A person who always studies. Sometimes my friends said that I have this nerdy character, but I was not sure. I disagreed to a certain extent. I wasn't really a nerd. Like, I can study whatever I want. I have the discipline. I can put the time and effort and get the score, get the grade. In that sense, it's only about me wanting that subject. So I was academically capable enough, and at the same time I was socially active, because in most cases there is this gap. Some students are like totally nerds, they just study and don't do anything else. Like, they're not really extroverted, they're not sociable, and there are those people who are very like activists. They talk a lot, they like go to like tons of events, but somehow they lag academically. But I guess the fact that I could combine them both is something they like, because I was studying very well, and at the same time I was sociable enough to meet new people, to talk to new people wherever I went, whatever conference, whatever event, or a classroom. And so this mixture was something I had. I wasn't afraid of speaking, I wasn't afraid of camera and anything. And the third thing is sort of connected. I was someone who was able to mix them with social things. So, and it's for a reason. I told you that I am a part-time content creator. I had my own blog where I posted videos. It was called Cool Science. Implications of science concepts in real life. For example, why do you sneeze? You sneeze when your brain lacks oxygen, and so, or you sneezing, yawning, and stuff like that. Different things that we do in real life, and I just talked about them in less than a second to inform people, to raise more awareness about science, and to see how cool science is. And in that way, I mixed both science and sort of a creative, communicative medium to reach out to people. So my main focus was conveying STEM, something I am really interested in, to people. And I became more social along the way. And that was the third thing. And number 4 would probably be the fact that I could use what I had, and even when I did not have them. So I would put it a little differently: entering all doors that are open and opening the doors that are closed. So I'll put it this way. I told you about my school, about what we have. I use them all, and there are more that my school may not have, and I tried to use them as well. And an example would probably be a research camp. For example, at some point I was interested in bio-waste management, sewage systems, how they work, how water in our sink is actually cleaned, processed, and reused. I did not have a chance to discover it in school, so I was just interested, how this water is reused, where it comes from, how is it cleaned? And to answer all questions I had in my mind, I applied and got accepted to a research camp by New Uzbekistan University. It was called Hawkers Research Camp, and I went there for 3 years to explore my interest. We went to sewage plants, had real experiments. We went to a sewage plant where we observed the whole process. They're biological, chemical, physical, all those processes of cleaning the water. And I could answer most of my questions. I'm still answering some of them. And there's someone at Harvard who can help me more. And I look forward to meeting her and continuing this research and take it to the next level with her. And I guess in that sense, I was always eager to try whatever there is inside my community and outside my community. And so that was one example. And I was just like, I just had, I still have a lot of energy that I had to put somewhere, be it inside school, outside school, in the camps, or in Zoom calls or whatever. And the next one was part 5 was probably, I would say, independence. Something I really love about myself and perhaps other people might have liked. By independence, I mean, I was in school, I was in dorm, so I was far from my parents, and that's where I grew up independently. For 5 days I was away. I chose what I wanted to study. I chose to study computer science and biology, A-levels at school, and my parents advised me to study bio and chem because that's what they studied as well. But I said, that's what I am interested in, I want to try, and my parents were okay. So I was independently making my decisions in life. There's an event in another region, in Karakal, Pakistan, let's say, and they asked me if I want to go there, and I say yes. And once I have decided that I go, then I inform my parents that I'm going, and they're okay with it. So making all these decisions by myself is something that was part of my personality. And another thing was also independence in financial terms, because I started working early from 10th grade, right after I got my SAT score. It was high back then, like 750 English was not equal to 750 English right now. And I started working here at SATMakon, met like all the amazing people, my students, my team, colleagues.
That was another question.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I can talk more about it.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My team, my colleagues, and so again, that was another journey for me to become a part of and to help me become more independent. So I guess that were top 5 things I would say.
Wow. So you started teaching when you were 16 years old, right? So how did it feel to teach? That the new experience that you gained, like the new connections that you made? I
guess that was one of the biggest experiences I've ever had, being a 16-year-old girl. I come to class. They were all online, and I first started with individual classes, and I realized that more than half of my students are actually older than me. Grade 10, you applied to college in grade 11, and they're grade 11 at least a year older than me. And they're doing their college applications, they're studying for the SAT. I meet with them like 3 times every week, have classes, teach them, but most of them did not realize that I was younger. But like, I really wanted to prove that age is just a number. And it's not about age, it's about what you have in your like brain. And I did my best to teach them. And my team was amazing. For some time I was part of the tech team as well, developing certain platforms, certain applications for startup contests and stuff. And it was amazing to work with people in this field, education field, who have different experiences, coming from different backgrounds. SATMakon back then was a very new, very young company, and being a part of its growth, witnessing its evolution, was something I am still very proud of. Since 2024, it's been 2 years now, and for 2 years I've witnessed a lot in this family, and I'm so proud that I was a part of it. I could contribute even a little, met all the people, and yeah, they became some of my closest people actually. One of them was there when I was opening my Harvard application. Someone I taught was there when I opened my Harvard application as well. So this teaching connected me with people who are my lifelong friends, closest people in life, someone I could rely on. Same with students as well. I still am in touch with some of my students. One actually got into Harvard. Yes. Is it a different question?
Amaran, right? Or his
Arman.
Arman, yes. So, like, I remember there was this video that you made at 5 a.m. The video message to Kamaluddin, I think you sent. About like your student getting into Harvard and how you were so like excited, and you also had an Olympiad coming up the same day.
Yeah.
We saw that video. It was just so awesome, and you were 16 years old, right? At that time. Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I was 16 actually. It was late March, and then I was turning 17 back then because it was around April 1st, around my birthday. And then I taught Arman in like November, December. He took December exam, and I taught him only for a month in November. We had very intensive classes, and he said that he was really struggling with the SAT. He had the best extracurriculars in the country. His profile was good, academically strong. It's just that it was his SAT that was like a barrier. And it's SAT and that's all, because he had everything else to get in, I was sure. And he took the SAT and got 1510. I was super happy because that was by far the highest result my student had. And I was proud of him. I was happy for him. And then it's December, he got his score and he's doing his applications done. And I keep teaching. And March comes and it's around April. It was early April, I guess. And Arman texts me saying, Dilafruz, thank you so much for teaching me SAT. I got into Harvard. I'm like, whoa, is that a joke? I said.
Hello, dear Makon followers. My name is Arman, and I'm from Almaty, Kazakhstan, and I got admitted to Harvard University. I want to say a huge thank you for Makon's help on my SAT journey. It was difficult for me to get more than 1400 for a long time, and after just 3 weeks of preparation with my teacher, Dilafruz, I got 1510, 790 on math and 720 on English. And also Makon's files and predictions are all really helpful. Thank you for that. And most importantly, believe in yourself and you can achieve everything. I wish you good luck.
Then I told him to send his acceptance letter, and he sent me his acceptance letter. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I congratulated him and said I was happy to be a part of his SAT journey. I mean, he did most of the work for SAT, for his application, everything. But like, I was happy to know him before his acceptance and to contribute even a little to his score. And they were joking, saying, your student got into your dream school before you. I'm like, we'll see. and then Kamal posted it in his channel saying, oh, her student got into her dream college and hopefully she gets in as well, and her student will be teaching her in college because he's a year before and he knows more about college basically. And he said it would be a reciprocal process. And maybe it will be like this. I mean, if he knows the subjects better than me, he can definitely explain it to me. Reciprocal, like in return. But yeah, that was a very good, cool, and memorable journey, I would say. And yeah. Hello. I think I cannot express it with words, so I want to record this video. Yes, I am super happy. I was about to sleep because I have a coding Olympiad tomorrow, but now, I mean, I don't feel like sleeping. I'm just happy. This week was, weekday was super productive for me. Our school got international accreditation, like international school from today on, and I was a part of it. So people from school thanked me. Then I had a meeting with Techno-Asian girl, a sister who got into Juke in Colombia. I got to know her and we said like see you in the US. Then now I was sitting and seeing the results of my students from the Makon channel. Then he texted me and said, thank you, Dilafruz. I got into Harvard and I didn't believe, and he sent me his letter. Last but not least, this week was super awesome. See, I have this Kazakhstan map because I got to know friends from NIS, Pavlodar from Kazakhstan. They came to our school and I had a great time with them. I got to know them, and see, I got this best position paper award in my very first MUN. Then I was just holding this Kazakhstan friend, showing it to some of my other students whom I had the class just now. Then he texted me. I mean, life is cool. That's all I can say. I look forward to seeing him on campus very soon.
That would be amazing. Like, it would be so exciting and surprising, most likely, right?
Sure.
For you. to see your student again.
Yeah, exactly.
In the same university and studying in the same university is awesome. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. Okay, let's move on to another question. I think one of the most interesting topics as well would be your personal statement. Like, could you share a little bit about how did you start writing your personal statement and how did everything happen there?
I don't think I can share the whole content, but I can talk about my personal statement journey. So I told you I started learning about admissions in grade 9 when I was pretty young. That's when I first learned about personal statement actually in the course, and we had to write a draft like upon the completion of the course, and I wrote my first draft. And then I take the course again just to refresh my knowledge and to learn more about writing. And I write more drafts. I had like 10th of drafts, and the best one was about my fish actually. I look after fish since my 16th birthday, I guess. My dad gave it to me as a gift, and my fish, they were actually things or people or organisms I talked to the most. I shared the most. They know everything about my life. I studied the same room with them. They witnessed everything, and so I decided to talk about them. This whole process of looking after them and how it changed me, how it changed the role in my life. I was actually someone who people took care of, especially my parents, my teachers, people older than me. But then I started taking care of other living organisms like my fish, and my role changed. I'm no longer someone who's taking care of, but I'm also someone who is taking care of others. And I just at first I wanted to talk about it, but then it turned out to be a cool draft, wording, everything, description was good, and that was still 10th grade. You start application in 11th grade, August. So we still had the chance to edit, polish some parts, but I was like, maybe I could go with this one. And then I got a feedback that says, your application is serious, you're serious, and I guess fish is not that fit. In this case, it doesn't show your whole journey basically. It just shows a part of it, but maybe you'll come up with another idea that shows your journey more, like the broader one that has more reflection, that talks more about you. Yeah, it shows your side, but it shows like one side. But please make sure that it's not like too narrow, and it tells the admissions officer more about you. And I guess back then I thought I could have brainstorm better ideas, and I said okay, I put this on the side and start to think of more, and I brainstorm more. Comes August, I am still brainstorming, like extracurriculars and other things, descriptions are almost done, but it's again the personal statement. And in August I meet someone, Shahna, her name was, she is Princeton class of 2024, and I talked to her, and like talking to her was actually something that made me brainstorm more. She was my source of ideas. Just talking to her was something that like brought more ideas to my mind. And I guess it was August, mid or late August, it was when I brainstormed the idea that I ended up with. And I mean, I say like, they say Evrika. So like Evrika, I think I found it, and then I share it with her, and she says, oh, it's good, but we never know until you write the essay. So I started the draft. I had like free writing, you don't have a timer, you don't have a word limit, you just free write. I lock my room, I even turn off the light, there is nothing in the room, I just sit with my laptop and I write it. I just free wrote it for like an hour or so, and it's done. It was around 1,000 words, and I sent it to her, and she says like, oh, we can actually go with this one, it's good. Like, I didn't think about word choice, about word limit, anything. I just wrote whatever came to my mind, and then we just polished it, word choice, etc. parts, we just shortened it and ended up with that idea. So that was my journey. And wow. I guess I love my personal statement again, because when you read it, I guess personal statement is something that tells the most about you. Whenever you read the person's image should come to your mind. You should be able to draw their picture. And I guess whoever reads my personal statement can draw my picture, because after reading, they know that I'm loud, that I know that they know that I have a lot of energy that I have to let out all the time. And the last lines were actually like to continue to become someone who builds, connects, and leads. So that's how I ended it, and they knew that I am, and I will keep being someone who builds, connects, and leads. So that was my personal statement journey.
That's amazing. Wow. How about the academics? Let's go through the academics. So you mentioned that you got 15, 30, 40 on the SAT and IELTS 8, right? So also you mentioned that you also, in presidential schools, you guys take A-levels, right? So how would you rate A-levels? Really important in the process as well of getting in?
I guess A-levels was something that distinguished me academically from a bigger pool, because they need academically qualified candidates. Because if you cannot study in college, why do you need to go there? Because you just cannot meet their academic standards. You go to college to study after all. And so A-levels was something that helped me challenge myself academically and to prepare for college better. I could feel that if I didn't have them, it would be very hard in college. I haven't tried yet. I haven't gone and take classes. But from what I heard from other people who went to college already, they told that their high school sort of contributed to their college life academics. And so this Cambridge system, international curriculum, hard subjects, challenged me to a certain extent and helped me become more academically independent, academically strong. So I knew that whatever college I went to, be it Harvard, be it Stanford, whatever college in the US or Europe, I knew I could handle whatever subject I would be taking. And so now that I'm going to college, I'm not too afraid. Well, I have some fears about Math 55 in case I take it. That's the hardest math class in the US. But other than that, I'm not too afraid to take the classes, to take on new challenges. So that was the good side of A-levels. And yeah, it contributed to my college application as well, because it showed that the subjects I took showed that I love them, and I can handle them, biology and computer science in particular, and math. And yeah, so they just showed the admissions office that I took these subjects and they're on a high level. I know this much about these subjects and I could take on more classes in these subjects later when I go to college.
And how many A-levels have you already taken overall?
Oh, 3. Math, biology, and computer science.
That's amazing. Is there how about AP? Have you taken any AP classes?
No, I haven't taken any AP classes. I actually had plans to take AP Environmental Science, but AP Environmental Science and my A-levels exam date corresponded. They were on the same days, so I couldn't take it, but I was sort of preparing because Environmental Science is not a class in my school. You don't have a class like this. So I was thinking maybe that would be something else to explore, something to try, but unfortunately the date did not work out and I did not take any APs. But I guess there are some presidential school students who take AP exams. I know some of them personally who took AP Economics and microeconomics and stuff. But yeah, this year especially, some students are taking in addition to A-levels to challenge themselves more, to study more subjects. And I guess I generally like this idea because it's always good to try a lot. I personally tried economics, chemistry, physics in lower grades, in grade 8 and 9, just to see if I like them or not. And I guess AP gives them a chance to do that, to challenge themselves academically, see if they like the subject or if they can gain those skills in those subjects. And AP is actually an ideal option for public school students as well, because A-levels, for example, takes 2 years, and I guess I could have done A-levels without my teachers, because there are some concepts that a student cannot really like understand in his or her own, and the teacher needs to explain that. And I'm very grateful and happy to have my teachers who explain me those concepts. But for AP, there are AP courses. AP courses are basically more available than A-levels courses. They cost less, and they are available in our country as well. And same for AP exams. There are more range of subjects, and it only takes a year or a few months to prepare. So for any student who wants to take something that their school doesn't offer, something in the American curriculum, I would definitely say it's APs, because you have enough time to take them, you have enough to learn in AP subjects, and it always adds some more legitimacy to your college application, because you took a course in English, an American curriculum. So in that sense, A-levels is good, but it's just a little hard to study for it independently.
That's right, APs.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's talk about mindset and environment a little bit. So I think the success isn't just connected with the self-motivation, it's also connected with the environment, right? Would you say that the environment helps you shape your future, and the people around you helps you shape your future?
I believe so, because I had a chance to see different environments. So I went to a public school for 6 years, I went to a lyceum for a month, and I eventually came to a residential school. That was my third school, and I saw 3 different environments, and I guess residential school was the one where I saw the most growth. Well, public school was early years, but still, going back there, I see different people. So I'm in 11th grade, I sometimes visit my old school, and I don't really like comparing, because I know that we don't have the same resources, we don't have the same environment, people around, but still I knew that I would be different if I was in a different environment with other people. So you can see the differences, you can feel the differences. So I guess your environment inevitably affects the person you become. So they in some way challenge you. The way you have fun is different, the way you have entertainment, the way you study is different, and your lifestyle is different. The time you eat food, the type of food, or when you hang out, what you talk about is different. That's the hugest difference I actually observe. What we talk about in my current school and what we talk about in my old school is different, different topics. And so that's the role of environment, I would say. That even conversations matter. For example, I had the conversations that were sorts of ideas for my essays. Actually, I had conversations that helped me do something new, write something or produce something new with my teachers, with my friends, and that was my high school environment. But I guess that wasn't the only environment I had, because as I told you, I went to the same camp for 3 years. I had my own environment there of people who are very very ambitious academically. They were all doing their research, and they were actually people who knew how to have fun, because whether you like it or not, you become tired after studying or working, and you need to have some rest in some way. And in the camp, in a week, we actually knew how to have fun together and how to relax. We did some painting activities, some water strike where you pour water into your friend's face, when you swim together, when you dance together, and you just let out all the energy you have and all the exhaustion you have. And all those communities and environments I was part of, they all had something different to offer, and I got all the positive things from them, whether it be my work environment, camp environment, school environment, family environment, they all had something new that could contribute to different parts of my personality. And I guess this combination, not being limited to one group of people or one community, but actually joining in, learning from them all, is something that eventually contributes to your personal and professional development.
That's amazing, honestly. Woo, a lot of information. So as you said, you've tried everything and you've been to 3 different educational places and the environment was different. What would you recommend to students who are currently in a public school and want to study in Ivy League?
I would probably say that never see the fact that you're coming from a public school be a barrier. So never let that happen. Don't think that it's your disadvantage. You can actually make it your disadvantage, because there are schools that give the same opportunities, but if you do the same as those students who had opportunities that you didn't have, if you do the same, if you're on the same level, that's actually your advantage, because they have everything, so they're doing everything. But you don't have everything, but you are doing everything. So that automatically means that you are more hardworking, you are more disciplined, and you can do more than them. Because even if you don't have resources, you're trying on your own and you're doing more and more all the time. And so I would say, keep working, never feel demotivated, never stop, just keep working, learn more, take on academic challenges, personal challenges. Again, use every single resource, apply to whatever program you see, because someone smart I know says that we are lifelong applicants. We keep applying, applications never end. And so keep applying, keep learning, try everything, go to a camp or go to this program, that program, take short trips, meet new people, learn a new language, read a new book every week, and just make sure that you're growing all the time. And version of yourself is different year by year. And if you see the progress, well, progress will not always be obvious, but the fact that you never stop already means that you will eventually success. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but definitely one day. And so your school, your environment may not be the one you want to have, but that doesn't mean that's your disadvantage. Just embrace who you are, embrace where you are, and aspire, always be motivated, and always want to go to the next level, level up all the time, always higher and higher. So that's what I would probably tell students from public school or from whatever place they come from.
And one more thing, I think a lot of students assume that high achieving students or people always have everything figured out, right? So would you say it's a misunderstanding, or? I
am not really sure. Well, in my case, I would probably say not really, because again, you don't have things figured out when you are 10 years old. That's very rare. In some cases, it may be, for example, someone is 10 years old and he says, oh, I'll be a doctor, and he ends up being a doctor because probably his family pushes him to study life sciences and eventually go to med school. But in my case, because I have this freedom, I'm always eager to explore, as I said, to try and see what I like. And I did not have anything figured out when I came to residential school, and I figured out things eventually. What college to apply, what major to apply. And I have similar mindset for Harvard as well. I know my major, biology, but there are a lot of sections of biology, research fields that I haven't figured out yet. What I want actually is to figure it out. To try, for example, maybe I can take genetics class, I can take environmental science class, I can take health policy class, because they all are very different. Someone can say, oh, it's like biology, oh, it's like medicine, but they're very deep subfields that are actually one whole career for some people. And I don't have that figured out yet. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next year, in the next 2 years, 4 years. I am open to trying everything, to new challenges. And like in my case, I don't have things figured out like 100%. So that's what makes my life interesting. I just accept the fact that life is unpredictable, and I accept whatever life gives me.
That's amazing mindset, honestly. Well, after you've experienced everything, right? Which do you think matters more for you? The process or the result? Like did you enjoy the process as much as the result, or was it like hard and tiring and just like dismotivating?
No, actually, without process, you cannot feel the result. Process is something that adds value. For example, if it's very easy, the result will not feel as delicious, you know? But after all the hard work, after everything you experience, the result becomes more valuable and you start to feel it. Same was in my case. It was for years. And I was so happy that I had this journey, this process, because otherwise, even if I got into like Harvard but I didn't have this journey, I wouldn't have people to celebrate it together with. I wouldn't have feelings that I had when I got in. I opened it with my friends and mentors. They were in a different city and they came to my school. I know that if the process was different, the result would be different as well. So I guess they matter equally. Process is the thing that creates the result. So always we need to enjoy the journey no matter what the destination would be. And yeah, if you enjoy the journey, there will be a point where your destination may not matter as much as you think it does. So to all people, all young people, whatever stage they are in their life, whether it's a university or high school or maybe a year in between, you just always should be enjoy what's happening, like without complaints, without disagreements, or without saying, oh, it's not happening because I don't have this, or it's not happening because this is or that. You just need to say, it should be this way, it's meant to be this way. Maybe I should do more, maybe I should do a little differently. And just a person should like do that.
And have you ever experienced throughout your journey that you wanted to give up, or just a thought of what if it's not gonna work out?
I had some like what if it's not gonna work out thoughts, but giving up was never never an option, I would say, because sometimes it happens. You come too far to give up. Like you've already walked this far and there's no way back. There's only a way forward. And it was similar in my case. There was a lot that happened, a lot I tried, a lot I sacrificed to a certain extent. And so maybe it was my 10th grade where I was not really sure. I was like, there's very little time left, but this is not ready. What if it doesn't work out because someone's case failed and they were capable enough, but it didn't work out? What if same happens to me? But like you know that everything is for the best. It's either the best or for the best, and God has the best plan for us. So I always had faith and trusted, and I just kept working. I thought, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be better, it's gonna be for the best. I just every day I reminded me of this fact and kept working. Yeah, sometimes I was like too tired to wake up in the morning, but yeah, you just relax for a while and keep working. Yeah, because there's no giving up is never an option.
True, right? If you decide to do something, then you have to do it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, how about the family and support?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did your family members, how did your parents look at you when you said that you wanted to study in Harvard?
Oh, they were actually very happy. They are always supportive of my decisions. Whatever subject, whatever class or place, they always support. They trust me. They have trusted me so far. Some of them actually did not know that it was Harvard that I was applying to. So it was restricted early action. Like October, November, I was applying. I was torn between Princeton and Harvard actually, because Princeton is a place that really values intellectual vitality, your academics. And we believed that I was academically capable enough and Princeton might be a fit for me. So some people recommended me to go with Princeton for my early action, but I always had this feeling that Harvard was my place, and it was like last 2 weeks before the deadline, late November, that I finally decided that I would do Harvard. And so I told my grandma and mom that it was Harvard, but my other people in my family did not really know. My sister did not know, for example, I guess. And so for them, it was surprising, but it was a very exciting and cool surprise. My classmates did not know. That's actually a very cool story because I told everyone except my grandma and mom and my mentors that I did Harvard. Even my course mates, my classmates, my teachers did not know that it was Harvard. They all thought it was Princeton. And Princeton decisions came out exactly a week before Harvard. Harvard was 19th, which is Friday. Princeton was 12th, which was also Friday. So it's like week apart. And it's announced that Princeton's coming out this week. It's Friday. I'm in school. We leave school Friday evening. Friday morning, it has to be out at 5 a.m. And in the morning, my classmates are texting me, "Oh, did you get into Princeton?" And I'm like, "I haven't opened the decision yet. I want to open it at home with my mom." And then they're okay, and then I go home. It's 9 p.m. and they text me again, "Oh, congratulations." I'm like, "What congratulations?" They say, "Congratulations on getting into Princeton." I'm like,
oh my God.
I mean, I didn't actually want to lie, but I had no other option. I said nah, it didn't work out. And they felt sorry for me. One of them wrote, "Don't feel bad, don't be disappointed, you can do Harvard RD and Harvard is waiting for you." That's what they wrote. And then that was crazy because I didn't feel anything. I wasn't sad. Someone who got rejected is supposed to be sad, but I go to school the next day and I'm not sad, and they're like, I was like, "Oh, it was meant to be this way. I'll try harder in RD." That's what I told them all, but literally all of them thought this Princeton didn't work out. But yeah, and it was Thursday. It was New Year party in our school. We had a cool party. We danced a lot. I was tired. Mm-hmm. And Harvard decisions are supposed to come out Friday, 5 a.m. the next day. I'm tired, so I was supposed to be sleeping, but I couldn't sleep. I guess I slept for 14 minutes, but that's all. I was overthinking. What if it works out? What if it doesn't work out, That's a really harsh feeling because you feel a lot of stress. Especially those last days, I was very stressed because you just don't know what happens. It's either a yes or no, but that yes or no decides your next 4 years. For me, it was much bigger because it was my dream, something I was thinking of for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And for me, it meant much more than one single university. So I was overthinking, stressed a lot. And then it's 4 a.m. I was like, okay, I can no longer lie in bed. I just take my laptop and go to my room where I keep my fish and where I do my work in the classroom. And so I just go and sit there and I shoot a video that says, "Hi, this is the date," and I'm opening my Harvard decision. And then I just set to record my reaction. I mean, I was like, for the best, if it works out, we'll post. If it doesn't, we will see. And then around 4:40 or 4:45, my mentor sent the link. There were I don't know, there were some people that I didn't even know in the center in the background. And I was like, okay, all right. But there were many more people that I didn't expect to have. And it's 2 minutes left. Again, more stress. It's 4:59. There's no update yet. 1 minute left, but no update, because update comes the exact time, 5:00. It's I refreshed. That was the last refresh, and I'm there's update. And I guess that was in some way, the worst and best moment, because you just press an yes or no. So I was like, I just closed my eyes and said, okay, for the best. And I said Bismillah and opened it, and people on the other side of the camera started screaming, shouting, and they're like jumping around the room, and I realized it was a yes. And that was like the moment I would recall forever, I guess.
The best moment ever in your life.
Yeah, so yeah, and then another thing happened. So I get in, and then my mentor posted, Babaraka posted in his channel, and my classmates thought I got rejected the week before. And so see, it's 5 a.m. in the morning, and we wake up at 6 a.m. the next morning. And at 6 a.m. they open the channel and they see like, welcome to Harvard de la Prose, and they're like, but she got rejected from Princeton last week. The thing is, in restricted early action, you cannot apply to two schools, it's only one. And so it was either Harvard or Princeton, and they thought it was Princeton, and that was all. But then they were like freaking out. They were so surprised. I guess the real surprise, the real shock was for them, just because they were very sure that it was Princeton. But then we were just laughing. So that was like a really good moment for us, for my classmates. And I come breakfast time, and they're still surprised. It took a while for them to digest it, because I mean, this 2-3 months of lie, and then this decision. But it was, yeah.
Were they mad at you that you lied to them, or?
No. They didn't have a right to be mad at me. They were like, you could have told us, and my friends were like, you could have opened together. But since I did not tell anyone, I wanted to be alone. I was alone in the room. I wanted to go home and open with my parents, but I was like, I'm not ready for this, and I wanted to be alone, whether it's a yes or no. I mean, I was a little afraid, so I wanted to be alone in the room. I was alone, and I didn't invite anyone, no friend, no teacher, no one, and yeah, I just opened, and it turned out to be this way.
I wish I could only imagine that in my dreams.
I mean.
But wow, yeah. I'm sorry, I just got so much into your talking. I was just like, wow. I was imagining everything is just insane. And you know how a lot of families in Uzbekistan, I'm actually so glad that your family members supported you a lot during this journey. Probably, it most likely helped you a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, there are still some families in Uzbekistan that, like, parents that do not allow their children go abroad to study, right? So what would you recommend or suggest them, let's just say, to do, like, to the parents or the teachers, the students, sorry.
Their worry is for a reason, I guess, because not all countries are as safe as our Uzbekistan. There are some risks, threats that parents are like definitely worried about. But I guess this education abroad is something that changes lives of their children, and parents should give this chance and allow their kids to go abroad and feel this, because it's a whole new environment, whole new world, and the children learns to become more independent. They gain life skills, they become more professional, they learn more, and when they come back, they just have new perspectives that they wouldn't otherwise have if they stayed. I guess parents should think about it, about the benefits of sending their children abroad, they should compare benefits and drawbacks in some way, but I guess benefits would definitely outweigh. And I guess I would say that parents should give this chance to their children to see the world, to travel, to learn, because not all people can grow or can develop when they're under control. I personally developed or figured things out on my own when I was not under control. I guess everyone should do that to grow more, to learn more. And so yeah, parents just should give a little more freedom and this permission to go and study and to explore themselves.
You said you like to learn languages, right?
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak Uzbek, which is my native language, English, Russian with some of my friends, Turkish and German.
Turkish and German.
Yeah.
And what persuaded you to learn Turkish and German?
Well, I had a German club in school. I told you that I wanted to try everything, all the resources, and all clubs are free. So German is a language, Germany is a good country, and I was like, if my plans don't work out, Germany is still an option.
As a plan.
And exactly. And so I said, okay, let me learn German. I'll at least talk to some German people. And I learned German. My teacher was like one of the best teachers in Fergana. He himself studied in Germany. He's really good, and he taught me. It took me like around 2 years to learn it, and I took an exam and got B2 certificate. But since then I couldn't practice much, so my level dropped a little. But I guess I need a little more practice. I found some people from Germany at Harvard, my classmates, and I'll hopefully practice it with them when I go to campus. And for Turkish, we had a teacher from Azerbaijan in our school who taught global perspectives, and he had his Turkish club. I started attending his Turkish club, but he had to leave school after 2 months, and I've already started Turkish, and I did it for 2 months, and I guess I needed a little more push to learn it better, and so I didn't want to give up. I started one thing, so I have to complete it now. I cannot leave it incomplete, and I took another online Turkish course, and I took the course and I learned it for 5 months, and after 5 months my level was already upper intermediate. I could speak, I could express myself fluently in the language, I could understand whatever I watched or read. So I was like, okay, maybe I use it somewhere. Well, I used it actually, because I have a Turkish friend, she's like a sister, and we practice Turkish and German with her because she specialized in German in university. She teaches it, but she's Turkish, so we can switch languages with her.
Wow.
Which is a great experience. And for German, there are some delegations that come to our school from Germany, and I spoke German and English to them, but German most of the time, and it was fun to talk to them, to practice it with them, to learn from them. And I also had the chance to guide one tourist in Fergana Kokan who was German. So language has always been something that helped me all the time. So yeah, I am glad that I took all the chances and learned them. I never regret. I mean, there's a very golden saying that says, you never regret what you did, you only regret what you didn't do. So same in my case, I don't regret anything I did. I mean, I can only regret what I didn't do, so I make sure that I try everything. Yeah.
That's amazing. So before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you one question. If you would take 2 versions of yourself, the one year ago and the one today, two different versions of Dina Fruz, what would you say be the biggest difference between those two?
I would say connections and confidence. I have always been confident last year, the year before, but since I got in, I became more confident because I thought I have more access now. Because there are some things that only the name gives you. I mean, but it's not only the name, it's resources. I mean, Harvard started giving me some resources already, online, offline, and using them. I'm just trying to take advantage of them, and that's giving me more confidence. And network, connections, since I got in, I got to know some amazing people, journalists, doctors, ministers, government people, or just young people who are very aspired, who are very ambitious. And knowing all those people, talking to them, it always gives me something extra, a new idea, a new thought, a new reflection in life. And so these would be like two main things: confidence and connections. I'm still exploring, I'm still trying. Stopping or giving up is never an option. So, I keep pushing myself all the time. And yeah, I try to take advantage of whatever resource I have, and wherever I go, wherever I am.
That's perfect. I just want to say thank you so much for coming for today's episode podcast. Thank you so much for dedicating some time and sharing everything in details with our viewers openly. So there's this little gift for you that we prepared. Thank you so much from the whole SATMakon. So here's a little gift.
Thank you so much. Thank you for hosting me, and I hope it will be really useful for our audience, whoever will be watching it.
Yeah, thank you so much again. To everyone who's watching this video right now, thank you guys so much for dedicating time to watch this video till the end. And if you like this video or this episode, please comment down on the section below and say what part inspired you the most. And please subscribe and like this video if you liked it so much. And comment on the section below, who should we invite next to our next episode. See you there.
Bye-bye.